The big shift we had to get our managers and directors and these people to do was not do their job they were doing before. We had to explain to them, we need you to work yourself out of a job. It is really remarkable when you get your whole organization understanding what's important and rowing the boat in the same direction. All of a sudden, things just go faster and faster and faster, and you get laser focused on what's important in your organization. And as you get a bigger and bigger organization, it gets more and more important for everyone to understand where they're going.
What tools, what resources did you use to implement that change across the business so that everyone is aligned on what the objectives are, where we're going over 3 to 5 years, what our values are? What did that look like for you in implementing that cultural change?
Yeah. So, I can sit here all day long and me and the senior execs and make up a 5-year plan, 3-year plan and goals, but really we're not the ones driving it. It's the managers and directors, the employees that work for them. And we were in a weird spot where we were growing so fast and hiring people that had never been managers and never been leaders before. So strategic planning, they were like, what is that? That's a big word. What does that mean? They didn't even know, right? So we went through a lot of training courses explaining what a strategic plan is and how we plan and how we're going to think about things. But through that process, the big shift we had to get our managers and directors and these people to do was not do their job they were doing before. We had to explain to them, we need you to work yourself out of a job. Like if you're working on products, you're working on markets, you are working on the wrong things and spend your time in the wrong areas. We need you worrying about operational systems, resource management, management systems, culture. Like that's why you have employees to do those things. And for some people, that was very, very difficult because they forever were that person previously before us inside our company. And all of a sudden now they've never been a manager, never been a leader, and they got 20 employees reporting to them. And we're saying, you need to be a leader, you need to be a manager, you need to do strategic planning. And they had to learn not to do the things they used to do before. And that's really tough for a lot of people to do. I can say there were a couple that just raised their hands and said that we cannot do this. This is not my skill set. I don't want to do this. And one of them was our sales manager. He was the guy that got me from 0 to 20 million. He was the guy that said, I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I agree with you. I'm glad you're raising your hand. We'll find another place for you. He's happy. Doesn't have to deal with people and management. And we brought in a vice president of sales and the person that says, I'm not going to sell. I'm going to worry about these other things to make sure we have a great sales organization. And we had some employees who just were not getting it. They were managers. We were going through the training. They just couldn't or didn't want to. And unfortunately, we had to say, I'm sorry, like we don't have a spot for you here. We're going to have to move you somewhere else. You're going to have to find another job. And those are really tough decisions when you have employees that have been with you since day one. And unfortunately, not everyone grows at the same rate as the company grows. And sometimes the role and sometimes the company will grow you. So hard decisions have to be made sometimes inside your own organization, but it is what it is if you want your organization to move forward.
I think it is interesting when you talk about that. You think about who gets promoted. It's the people who are great at doing the doing. Doesn't mean that they're great at managing the people, right? And so it's the sales manager trap. We take the best salesperson, we'll make them the sales manager. And getting people out of the mindset, the high achievers trap, that I have to do all the doing because that's how I've gotten rewarded. Changing that mindset of getting out of the business so that you can work on the business and literally direct people, the right tools, the right resources, the communication, all of those pieces. It's a massive shift that people need to make to get them to that right place.